Thank you for joining us at the One-to-One Oil and Gas in London today.
Pleasure, thanks Scott.
Tell us a little bit more about Victoria Oil and Gas.
Yeah, no, certainly. I mean, Victoria Oil and Gas, I think, is a bit on its own in terms of we're a vertically integrated gas supplier in Africa. So we like to say from wellhead to burner tip. We're supplying well over 32 customers in Cameroon and the region's industrial heartland. That's Central West Africa, not the whole of Africa. Industrial heartland Douala, so it's a port city. And essentially what we've done is we've found previously discovered reserves. We've unlocked them, unlocked the gas, and we are a gas play. That's very important. We've built over probably around 55 kilometres of network pipeline under the city of Douala, and we're supplying gas to a range of customers. We're supplying gas to thermal customers for use in boilers, manufacturing process, but also to power stations as well. We supply to power stations. So diverse customer range, but also open pricing. So we sell our gas probably between 7.5 bucks per BTU to about 16. That allows us versatility, good margins, and we've just raised last week $23.5 million, which we're going to be investing alongside our free cash, alongside debt, to build out our reserves and also to bring the cost of production down, because we're going to be unlocking new fields which are less expensive than our current Loch Barber fields, which means suddenly our pricing competitive nature gets a lot better.
And what about the landscape of Cameroon? Is it a good place to operate?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been extraordinary for me. I mean, it's one of the most safe and stable parts of Africa I think I've ever worked in. The interesting thing about it is that Douala is the egress point commercially for an awful lot of the region. It's a safe, stable port, lots of manufacturing, lots of roads going up north to various other countries. But the more we've put power in, the more we've put gas in for use in power, etc., the more that other people have invested in the region. The boom is quite extraordinary in the last 5 years, and that's why we raised the money, because we really want to capitalise on a dominant position. We were the first movers into the new industrial zones to the west, which are now being built on. So we're now part of the primary core infrastructure provision going in for people who want to build major industrial sites in Douala.
So it sounds all very encouraging, lots of potential that's there. What are the next key milestones for the company?
Well, we've just completed LA-107, which is our third production well. We're about to complete, hopefully, our fourth production well, LA-108. We'll have that done by the end of the year. But there's actually a bigger picture than this. So the field expansion program I talked to you about going into new fields, etc. We're building up our available gas reserves, and the real key to that, as well as bringing our costs down, is that we've got high use customers. So 10 million scuffs equals 50 megawatts. Okay, we supply about 14 to 16 million scuffs per day average at the moment, and then we've got these major power potential customers who are saying, well, we need 50, 150, 200 megawatts of power. So suddenly we're in an environment where we're going to be hopefully bringing on a few larger customers and securing in long-term take or pay. So key milestones is continuation of those agreements, continuation of what we might be doing in gas to power generally, and also reserve expansions, and then after that the exciting part is the new field expansion into places like Bomono and Matanda, which suddenly starts to increase our ability for cost competitiveness, if you like.
And the reason for being at One-to-One today, what's the message you're giving people?
Well, I think we've been quite cautious over the last 5 years. I think, if I can be blunt with investors, VOG has in the past, we've had to re-establish trust. And what we wanted to do today is we now have a message based on delivery. You know, we've built a gas business, we've delivered again and again on what we've said we wanted to do. So now we have a story that we want to tell. We want to start consistently talking to investors face to face, whether they're private investors, whether they're institutional, about the really quite exciting prospects for African gas, because we're one of the few companies which delivers gas in Africa to multiple customers. That's a cash flow business, and the expansion potential is significant, but we have the numbers and the track record to back that up with fact now, I believe.
Well, Laurence, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.